So if you know me at all, you know that I'm very emotional and get very excited about a lot of different experiences. So when I think about selecting a hometown hero, there's so many options. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention our firefighters who recently passed away and the two that were injured in the building collapse at the Weaver building. That impacted me. I'm friends with many journalists in our town who suffer PTSD from events they cover, and they go and they do their job and they see unimaginable things. And every time I read a story that pulls at my heart, I think about my friends that took photos or wrote the words that went with that story. And I know that it will carry with them forever. When my oldest son was in high school, he had an illness that we could not figure out. It was serious enough that it possibly could have impacted his dreams. And I wrote a compelling letter to the Mayo Clinic, and they accepted him and figured it out. When my younger son was 2 months old, he was at Hershey Medical Center for 12 days, almost passed away. And through the work of the doctors and the nurses there, he lived. I have so many heroes in my life. There's so many people in this town that each and every day quietly do things to help other people that no one ever sees. And because these people are my friends, or help connect them, or know the benefits of them, I sometimes hear about those things. People who help out a friend in need, people who pull together meals for the homeless people in our community, the people who constantly feed or open their bathrooms to people who are in difficult times and have nowhere to live or nowhere to go or nowhere to spend a couple hours to stay warm. So I have big, big heroes that for some reason I am lucky enough to bump into every day and share my life with. I'm incredibly lucky. But when I was sitting here and I was thinking about, as a kid, who were my heroes? For some reason, my neighbor popped into my mind. I had hardworking parents and we were involved in things. I can remember selling Easter flowers and dressing as the Easter bunny for service clubs with my dad when he was a member and doing a lot of different things. And the hard work and service that my parents taught me has carried through to this day. But for some reason, as people were telling stories tonight, I thought of my neighbor. And her name is Carla Lauer, and there were 3 reasons that as a kid, she was my hero. They had a swimming pool at their house, and I could swim at their pool whenever I wanted. The only catch was that when it was the day you had to open the pool, and they had the big swimming pool cover that they spread out on the driveway with all these boxes of baking soda, if you were there to clean the pool that day, you could swim whenever you wanted when they were there. So I was always there that day, so I could swim whenever I wanted. Hard work and fun. She taught me those things. My 2 close friends from the neighborhood who lived next door took all kinds of dance lessons. So they had this magical bag that had all these costumes in it, from tap and ballet and all these things that I was way uncoordinated and could never do. But there was this bag that a couple times in the summer, a bunch of the kids in the neighborhood would come together and we would put on a show, just digging stuff out of this bag and making up things. And for some reason, they convinced the rest of the parents to sit and watch our amazing show, because I'm sure it was great. So because of that, it reinforced community and fun, and those things are still important to me. But the one thing I think about when I think about Mrs. Lauer and why she was my hero when I was young is when I slept over at their house, she had this magical Tupperware container full of cookies. All kinds of cookies. It was on the top of the refrigerator. We couldn't eat out of it all the time. I don't know if we snuck the container on Saturday mornings, but we had this big Tupperware container full of all kinds of cookies, all mixed in the same container, which actually sounds kind of gross to me now, but when I was a kid, just being able to dig in and have a zebra cookie and then an Oreo and a chocolate chip and all these other cookies in the same container was like cookie magic. And I've always enjoyed food. So for me as a kid, Mrs. Lauer taught me about community and fun and hard work and food, and those things are still important to me today. It does not discount all the important people that each and every day do amazing things and put their lives on their line, but it does reinforce to me that we all have people in our lives who do little things that can make a difference, and that's important too. So for all of you, whether you do big or small things, thank you for being a hometown hero.